Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Okay, now I'm good. I just had to make sure you wanted it. Did you want it?
Now it's ruined. The moment is gone.
Oh, okay. Well, the good thing is that I'm on Wi-Fi right now, where the username and password are the person that we're staying at's child. So, as the hacker that I was able to figure that out before looking at the pet sitting notes I'm at. So,
Whoa.
Ocean's 8, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, 9-ball. Fuck.
If only I wasn't asthmatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I'm just here, but I'm ready. So.
You'll just do it from afar. You're like, I'll be over here.
Also, I just need to give you just like an update on like where I'm at in my situation in this new like pet sitting podcast recording situation. I'm looking directly at their old son's bedroom, who's a year younger than I am, so just out of college, but he like lives in DC or something. So this is his teenage bedroom. It is kiwi green walls.
Yep.
And there are Nirvana posters everywhere.
That sounds exactly like my team, but so like it was green. It was like and there were dumb posters on it. So yeah.
And like when you know those like stuffed animal snakes, there's just a container of those and like basketballs. It's the weirdest.
Whoa.
Wow. You know, welcome to Seattle. It's just...
Hi, yeah, can you move from the mic a little bit so you can dunk? Can you dunk on him real quick?
No, I don't want to touch the snakes, you know?
Hallie, I need you to dunk on him real quick.
Okay. I did
it. Yeah, that's... Wow, your Foley work is really coming on to its own.
You know, 2 years on this podcast, and I really nailed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my god. Sound effect connoisseur.
I nailed it. I'm good.
Yeah. Switch.
Cody, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's the eclipse happened.
Yeah.
I accidentally turned myself into a new person without realizing that was happening.
Oh, welcome.
It came into place, so here I am. I have fake nails. They're very inconvenient, but they are pretty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do they look like? Tell me everything.
You saw that fucking selfie.
I know I did.
I will describe it for the listeners.
Thank you.
They are very long.
Yes,
and they're pointed at the end. I don't know how the terminology because I've had bare nails for my entire life. And they are covered in glitter.
It's so beautiful.
They're great.
I know nothing about acrylic nails.
Yeah, no.
I don't understand it because I was never allowed to get them.
Sure.
And the outside world apparently disagrees with that too. I don't know whose dog that is. It's not the one I'm pet sitting for. But that's just an outside dog who's like, nope, fuck this, nails. Anyways, so I don't understand nails. I've always been terrified of them just like breaking off and that pain.
Yeah, these are not even acrylics. I was just in a bender at Sally's, as you do. And I was like, okay, let's try these out. And they've gone through like 2 sleeps successfully, so.
I love that. Press-on nails are a whole different situation.
Oh, absolutely.
Because those I did all throughout my youth.
Yeah.
And I have heard, and your experience now confirms this, that they have gotten better, that the glue has gotten stronger.
The glue is, like, actually good. Like, I tried press-on nails again, like, a year or so ago, and I'm like, nah, this shit sucks. And I tried doing it in high school, and I was like, no, this sucks. This is, like, good. This is some good shit.
When I was in school, I remember the first one that I did was basically just the equivalent of tape. Like,
Yeah,
my mom wouldn't even let me get the actual glue, but it just
Yeah.
came with those, like, they were literally just press-on nails.
Yeah.
And it was like,
They're stickers, and
Yeah.
they will fall off in minutes.
yeah, I would, like, go to move my, like, swooshy bangs, and I would get
Yeah.
one of the fucking nails stuck in my hair. Like, and then you're just left with, like, a sticky finger that doesn't have a nail on it anymore.
And there's never enough that are, like, the size of the finger that you
No!
lost. So you just, like, have one that's missing.
Yeah, so you just, like, put a thumb on your ring finger and just, like, hope for the best? Like, what do you do? Anyways, yeah, so I've heard that the glue has gotten better, so I'm happy to hear about that.
I
and
would recommend this brand if they sponsored us, but in general, I would recommend it.
Good, I will have to explore that then.
Yeah.
Speaking of nostalgia, because this is, like, throwing me back. This morning, I made the mistake of listening to Natasha Bedingfield again.
Oh, wow. That's
And
a power move.
It wasn't on purpose. I was just, you know those, like, autoplay videos that you see on Twitter and Facebook and stuff?
Sure.
And one of them just fucking started playing unwritten, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, Cody, and I swear to God, I was just there with tears just streaming down my face. And I wish that I wasn't the kind of person that cried over that song, but I've watched The Hills for too long to not be emo over that song, and it's just where
Can we start a Hills podcast?
Do not fucking joke. I swear to God, I know Laguna Beach and The Hills
Dude,
so much.
that was my whole fucking childhood. I had, like,
Me too.
I had an older sister who was, like, a teen when that was coming out, and she was like, this is what I will give to you. This is my gift to you as an older sibling. We will bond over the hills in Laguna Beach, and you will know everything about Lauren Conrad, and that is the curse that you will carry with you the rest of your life. Here you go.
The girl who didn't go to Paris. He wore combat boots to the beach. Like, homeboy wore combat boots. I swear to God, I quote this stuff on the daily, and nobody understands me. I'm just, like, a misunderstood person.
Oh my God. Get out of here.
I swear to God, I would love nothing more.
Yeah, maybe we'll pivot. We'll think about it.
That would actually be some pure content for once in our goddamn lives.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, it threw me back, is all I'm saying. So,
Yeah, for sure.
thank you, Natasha, for making me just start my day off in, like, a positive, but also just, like, crying mood. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yes. As far as current events this week, things happened.
What?
People were tweeting. There was a lot coming from the Jackson Rathborn side of the world, specifically on his Twitter, that I just want to talk about for about 2 seconds, because we have some throwbacks that I want to talk about. But the one that I forgot to mention, and I forgot even to do my due diligence to immediately put this onto our Google Doc until right now, is that Jackson Rathborn, who played Jasper Hale in the Twilight series, is an enigmatic creature. He's a beautiful person.
Sure.
One of my favorite things that he posted recently on his Twitter is what I assumed initially when I looked at it was a sponsored post about Heinz ketchup.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, it does not have any of the SEC compliances about, like, hashtag spawn, hashtag ad. But it is going around on what is apparently the Heinz ketchup conversation of a hashtag ketchup confession, which I have no idea what that is. But what ended up being posted, and I don't know, Cody, if you had seen this until I just
I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Could you do me the favor of describing these 3 photos to our audience, please?
So, this man has a life-size, true to scale, Heinz ketchup bottle tattooed on his leg.
Yep.
on the outside of the like, and this man looks like doesn't have a lot of tattoos that are visible, but he's just got a fucking giant ass red tomato ketchup tattoo just on his leg. I can't believe it.
Are you ever so white?
What if the other side was just like mayo?
Stop. Oh god, and he's like...
It's funny because he looks so cute, and then you just see his fucking leg. A fucking ketchup bottle.
He is arguably one of the most attractive people in the Twilight Saga. Like,
He's so cute.
He's got that moody, broody man side going about him, right?
He's got that, like, swoosh hair, and, like, the facial hair is great, and everything's great.
And then you just pan down to this actor's leg. This actor who's still trying to be in the business.
Sure.
And he's got a fucking Heinz 57 bottle on his
This
leg.
man can never wear shorts ever again, like, professionally. No. Like,
no. And the fucked up thing is about this, Cody, that I didn't realize until just now looking at this photo, is this was not recently done. Because the photo that he's taken is not, like, red around it, signifying that he just got this done.
No.
He has...
Also, there's still leg hair. There's leg hair that's grown.
Yes. Yeah, so it's not like it was just, like, recently shaved or anything like that.
Nope.
He has had this for a while. And I need to know for how long.
Also, can we talk about real quick?
Please.
His pinned tweet
Please.
is, sometimes I want to stir the pot, sometimes I want to smoke it too. And this was from 3/20/2017.
Oh,
not
damn it.
4/20.
Are
Close, but...
You're so ahead of the game. You're too ahead of the game.
Too ahead. Pull it back.
So the reason why, like, I just want you all to just ruminate on this man who has this photo.
This complex man.
The reason why I had originally brought up his Twitter today is because on the 26th of this month was celebrating 10 years since the Twilight movie originally started filming in my hometown of Portland, which, wow, spent way too much of my life on this series. God, that's embarrassing. And the gift that he chose was him all dressed up in his Jasper hair, and him just, like, with a popped collar. It's super cute. Nobody else outside likes this. Here's the thing about this, Cody. This place has windows and doors. And yet there's just, like, a monster outside. Seattle, folks. Update before I fully moved here. Full of cryptids.
Yeah.
Just confirmed.
Confirmed.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about too is the the flashback to them at Comic-Con. Could you tell me about these photos, please and thank you?
Well, I want to talk real quick about fucking how good Stephenie Meyer looks.
It's a problem.
She's glowing.
Yes.
She's got beach waves. Her scarf is sparkly. She's got billowy sleeves. She just looks sun-kissed.
Oh, Cody, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's not her, is it?
Oh yeah, that's not.
Okay, I was gonna ask, but I thought if I asked it would make me seem stupid if you were like, of course it is. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. It's not.
Money.
So who's that?
The money I would pay,
Yeah,
Cody,
what's up?
for that to be Stephenie Meyer.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Okay.
But yeah, so that is not, in fact, Stephenie Meyer.
Great, well, we learned.
Yes, but if you scroll down a little bit more,
I see her now.
see...
I found her.
Yes.
Oh, there she is. Yep.
Yeah. So she is there. But they do all look very young.
Yeah. Also, there's, like, this fucking Slenderman-ass dude behind Stephenie Meyer that's just, like, staring into the soul of the camera, and it's very terrifying.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in these photos. Yeah, that guy, he's got to be, like, what, a PA? Something.
He's, like, security or some shit. He's just, like, keeping the peace, you know?
But, I mean, it was 2008, right? So the way that they took photos was just, like, flash all the time.
Right, yeah.
And so it does look quite haunting. Can we also please, for just a moment, talk about that person's, what is it, headband, barrette? It's kind of beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Great.
But yeah, so all of these photos were, it's like a Getty Images collection of just the Comic-Con photos from 2008. And it's very beautiful. The last photo on this is my personal favorite because I think that it really sums up Stephenie Meyer.
Yeah.
She's making eye contact with someone. And in a very typical Stephenie Meyer way, she's wearing like a very light yellow top and a white cardigan just to emphasize how pale she is.
Right. Yeah.
And she's got her hands clasped on this table and is apparently making eye contact with someone, not the photographer. And the face that she is making is what I would consider if someone in front of you, I don't know, barfed, combust, and you knew that it was all being filmed, and so you had to be like, great, thank you for this gift. I'm going to shed my skin now. It's just
this is the face of her realizing that she's made a lifelong mistake, and this is going to be the rest of her life.
Yeah, maybe that was when she first saw someone come in a Jacob Black furry costume, and she was like, oh, so this is my life now.
Yep, this is it. This is it. You're welcome. Yeah. You did this.
Stephenie. Yeah. It wasn't when she put all of those, like, really manipulative components into the relationship. It was not when she added all that cultural appropriation. It was that moment there. Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Very good. One of the things I know that we had talked about was that Screen Rant article. Yes. Our favorite.
We love going back to Screen Rant.
Screen Rant has always given us some good shit. One of my favorite things about authors, I don't know if they're listicle authors, I should say, is what Twilight photos that they choose to pull for these listicles. And so Dan Struthers pulled this one from New Moon about 10 actors who regretted being in Twilight and 10 who adored it. And Cody, you brought up that we've kind of exhausted the whole regret part at this point. Right. And so would you like to walk us through a couple that who enjoyed this series that you thought were notable?
One of note is our man, Billy Burke.
Yes!
Who loved it. And he had a daughter, like, right after Twilight or whatever, named Bluesy, which...
Oh my god.
I cry. Her name's Blizzy. And then he told MTV News that Bella would be a good role model for
God
her.
Bless.
And she was like, I would like her to, like, be similar and be a worldly person. And I'm crying.
I love it.
Tears in my eyes.
I love Billy Burke. And, I mean, if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, you know that Charlie Swan is... without a doubt, the best character in the Twilight Saga. So, God bless. Are there any others of note?
Well, I do like how they have Anna Kendrick twice. As adored and regretted.
Yeah.
But I also think that Peter Facinelli?
Yes.
Who plays Carlisle. A quote from Vanity Fair. He said, I'm going to dress up like Carlisle and do birthdays and bar mitzvahs. Which, could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Can I hire Peter Facinelli to be in my wedding? Can Carlisle Cullen walk me down the aisle?
Stop. Oh my god. Because, like, what's funny about this is that, like, a lot of the characters that are, like, a bit smaller are the ones who generally enjoy it more. Mm-hmm. So, like, the fact that, like, people like Carlisle or Charlie or whatever are the ones who, like, do these, like, little greets and stuff, and, like, meanwhile Edward and Belle will be like, fuck you, I'm not gonna do anything about this anymore. Right. Like, here's my birthday party with Charlie Swan, or, like, here's my birthday party with Carlisle, the vampire father doctor from Twilight.
Yo, no joke. I would spend most of my wedding budget to get Billy Burke to walk me down the aisle.
Oh my god.
And I'm not fucking joking right now.
Chris, are you listening?
Chris, where's my juice? And also, we need to talk. I'm glad that you brought up Peter Fettuccine because I just knew I was gonna fuck it up, and so it's fine. Because, okay, so if you all have been out in the world at all a little bit, you've probably heard the buzz about Netflix's new show, Insatiable, that's coming out. So Peter Facinelli is gonna be in that show.
Oh, shit.
Along with, like, everybody. Because, like, even fucking, like, Alyssa Milano is gonna be in it. Like, there's a whole bunch of people.
What the fuck, guys?
I know.
Come on.
Anyways, and so Peter Facinelli did this, like, talk with some random person about the show. And apparently in one of the girls' bedrooms, there's a scene where there's, like, a cast photo of Carlisle Cullen in her room. And they'd originally put it up as, like, a joke. And then once Peter saw it, he was like, no, we gotta keep this. This seems, like, very in character. And so he, like, loved it. And
That's so funny.
Yeah. So that's just a fun tidbit
Sure.
about that. I mean, we could have a whole different podcast specifically about that trailer. But I didn't realize until doing a little bit of research that Fettuccine was going to be in that show. So
Yeah.
one of the other things that we should probably talk about before moving on is that I have some really exciting news for all of you. And it's that in December, I've decided that I'm going to give myself a Christmas present. Because, you know, like Christmas in July, everything like that, you know, like it's all just great. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to be flying out to Glasgow. All right. Well, here's a little behind the kimono for all of you fun listeners. I was making a really funny joke, and now it's not funny anymore. But the real news is, in December, there's apparently a Twilight Marathon that's happening. Hey, Cody, here's a fun quiz for you. Quiz corner. Where's Glasgow?
Scotland, right?
Great. Good job.
Cool.
I
Thanks.
didn't know. I don't teach those studies. That's not a thing. Anyways, it's fine.
I don't have to know those.
No, I don't. So the reason why I was telling you this, so they are on December 8th doing a whole day marathon in the year of our Lord 2018 of all of the saga in its entirety. And they have the phone number on here. There's a lot more numbers than I'm used to. So I don't know how to call it, but I'm tempted to.
I think you just dial all of them. I don't think there's a max of numbers you can dial.
Is there? I guess there isn't. Because I guess when you call 1-800 numbers, they aren't like, you've put too many numbers in. Please stop.
Sorry, I can't process this call. There are just too many numbers.
That's true. I guess I hadn't thought about that. That's weird. But yes, so I'm going to Glasgow. I mean, I'm not. Who has money for that? But, like, low-key, I just want that to happen here.
All of our Glasgow fans. Come
Let us know.
Some photos. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if a airline company wants to sponsor us, I'll do it for the bit. We have a question today. Could you ask it for me, please?
Yeah. It is, do you have any predictions for what's to come in the next 2 books? Or anything you'd like to see in the next 2 books?
This is a great question. If you'd asked me this last week, I feel like my answer would have been a lot different than after reading today's 2 chapters. Because I don't know anything about the series other than the guns that are apparently supposed to come up and like the espionage, right?
Sure.
But I don't know what happens here.
Yeah.
Do you know how this series ends?
No, I know at some point there's a wedding, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's all that I know. But, like, I don't know how, like, what happens, because there's 3 books to fill of content here. So I'm like, where do we go from here?
My question about that, though, is we've basically finished a whole book, and it's been 2 weeks in their time.
Sure.
So, like...
and it's also been, like, nothing happened. So
nothing's happened. So, does this series happen over a summer? Does it happen over a year? Like, I guess
I have no idea.
my predictions are, from what I read this week, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the predictions at the end of this episode.
Sure.
Because I feel like it requires a little bit more content. But things that I would like to see in the next 2 books. As always, communication.
Yep.
I would like more realistic business conversations. Please, God.
The bar is too high already.
That's true. I would like... there's so much that I want, but am I going
Right.
to get it is the problem.
Yeah.
I would like Anna to have a job that is separate from Christian. I want her to do anything that is sustained and separate from him.
Yeah. Here's a fucking crackpot theory for you.
Please?
What if the reason there's, like, guns and, like, maybe espionage and murder or whatever is because, like, and also the reason that E.L. James doesn't know how to write business, maybe he's in, like, some nefarious business shit. Like, maybe he's, like, in the mob or, like, some, like drug dealing operation.
So you think he's not actually, like, in the food business?
I don't know. He might be doing something there's a reason that people would be after him. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I feel like Christian Grey has too much money to just be doing all this stuff, like,
Sure.
non-for-profit stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Here's my crackpot theory.
Yeah.
Anna starts working at this publishing house,
Yep.
and the publishing house starts doing shady shit.
Ooh.
They're the ones that start doing whack stuff. Because, I don't know, do you remember when she was in that interview and things got, like, weird with that dude?
Sure, yeah, he was a little...
So, I just feel like E.L. James is, master of subtlety. Wouldn't have put that in if things weren't gonna, get weird. And so I just feel like, especially with the way that, and we're obviously going to talk about this, the way that the last chapter 24 this week ends, I don't know. Something whack is going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I'm very intrigued by that. But yeah, I just want him to be doing something. I want her to have a life separate from Christian.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes. So, I'm intrigued. And I don't want to keep reading, but alas. And we're so close to actually watching this movie that I don't know that I'm ready to see Jamie Dornan in, like, sex jeans.
Stop.
But, like, it's going to happen because now we know that he actually, like, fucks in jeans.
It's real, I know it. Stop.
He has, like, a hole cut out for his peen that he just, like, likes to fuck in jeans.
You're not allowed to say peen on the podcast. I forbid it.
What would you like me to say instead?
Penis, like an adult woman.
Okay. All right. Well.
Peen is unacceptable.
Okay.
Dick is fine. Cock, I guess, if you're feeling it. Peen? No way.
I just feel like it was the most appropriate thing for sex jeans because...
Sex jeans are already ridiculous enough.
That's what I'm saying.
But
It's too much. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we read chapters 23 and 24 this
Woohoo.
week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now, where's my Foley work? Hold on. I need to do some Foley work for this part. All right, get your ASMR ears ready. All right, last time on Into the Twilight, I just grabbed some beads from this place.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, so last time on Into the Twilight, we were talking about gross stuff. You know what I mean? It was all bad. It was all bad, right?
Yeah.
And when we just let me get through this.
Keep going.
Okay,
Keep
so
going.
when we were talking about it last time, Anna was with her mom, and then when we stopped reading last time, she was still with her mom, and Christian was there. Anna was drunk on Cosmos, and Christian was there, and he was BBMing her about how many Cosmos she was drinking, and it was all really, really bad.
Yep.
Did I forget anything?
No, that's pretty good.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put these beads away now.
Okay.
Okay. So. Okay. So. Chapter 23 starts right where we left off, and Christian's here in this bar, and of course, one of the things that I forgot until reading this part was how much E.L. James has mirrored these characters off of Edward and Bella. And so as he's walking over to her, she takes this moment to describe Christian as having burnished copper and red hair. And I was like, bitch, since when?
Yeah, literally what? Sorry, who?
We are literally in the last, 20 pages of this book. And you've
We're
just
now getting basic descriptions of what this man looks like.
I'm telling you, he's a sex robot. He doesn't have physical features.
Yeah.
But, okay, so the way that she describes him, though, just imagine this man, you know what I mean? Man, okay. But he has, copper hair and gray eyes. That sounds like the most intimidating person I've ever seen.
Yeah, I hate that.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, no thanks.
But anyways, so he shows up at their table. He meets her mom, which obviously, he knows her by name. And her mom just starts, drooling at the table. Carla is shook. Carla wants Christian. It's there's a lot happening. Anyways, so yeah. There's, one of my favorite things about this, though, is Anna's, tipsy, but she's also very nervous, and so she describes herself as being a sophomore on amphetamines. Her voice is super high pitched, which is very good. Yeah. Anyways, so they're talking about nothing at this point, but then her mom decides to go to the bathroom and give them
I'm gonna go powder my nose.
Right, exactly. And give them some alone time. And so they decide all of a sudden to have this very deep conversation.
Sure, yeah.
Specifically about Mrs. Robinson, who I always just want to call Mrs. Robbins. I don't know why, but it's just where I'm at in life right now. Anna's, has reckless abandon at this point, and starts talking about the fact that she doesn't like the fact that he went to dinner with her, all this stuff. And Christian's all like, meh, that's super judgmental. I can't believe that you're going to do all this stuff. It's a gross conversation that they're having because he starts being whiny. And so Anna has to talk about the fact of I don't want you to go. I'm super happy you're here.
It's cool that you just flew here and tracked me down and came all this way to confront me about sending you this email. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's so gross. And she's worried that he's angry at her, even though up until 5 minutes ago, she was super pissed off at him. There's a lot of emotions that are happening here.
All at a hotel bar.
Yeah, and in
5 p.m.
hushed tones, and there's so much. One of the things that is almost comical at this point is when they're talking about this, Christian's shocked that she's jealous, which... this is her first relationship, Christian. You need to remember this stuff.
Come on.
But also, he says something that is hilarious. He's like, I do as I wish, Anastasia. I like my autonomy. And so, in typical fashion, he gets to have this.
Right.
But Anna can't.
No.
No.
No. You can't even think about Jose.
Right,
as
exactly.
a friend.
And so they basically just end this conversation with nothing being concluded, because one of the questions that she asks him is did you love her? And then he doesn't get to answer it because Carla shows back up and he's all charge these drinks to my room. I'm leaving forever. Bye. Because
I'm retiring to my chambers.
God, because he's just obnoxious. And so Carla decides to do the whole obviously he's in love with you, you need to go after him thing, and it's gross.
Yeah, it's motherfucker, she came here to visit you. If I was that mom, it'd be no, you were not gonna run after your fucking boyfriend. We're gonna hang out, we're gonna have some quality time, we're gonna get drunk off Cosmos.
Yeah,
Go make some
especially
fucking food.
if they're going onto his tab and he's a billionaire that has his own plane. We'll take another round of French fries.
I hope
you.
when Anna left, she was still there, just running it up.
I know, right?
Like, what's the most expensive bottle of wine you have? Can I take it to go?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
I will just send me down to your cellar and I will just collect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so her mom's like, go. And Anna's like, well, let's finish our Cosmos first.
Yeah.
Because I'm an independent woman.
Yeah.
So she goes up to Christian's room. And he's on the phone doing business. No joke, that's like 2 pages of him.
It's so long.
It's so gross, and none of it makes any sense. Because E.L. James, I just Googled how to write dialogue in the form of business conversations.
Yep.
I don't know. He finally gets off the phone, and they, without, like, no subtleties, no, like, hi, nothing. He is just, like, forced to answer the question of did he love Mrs. Robinson or not. And obviously he says no, because what if he just said yes and the book ended?
And goodbye. Curtains close.
Yes. So Anna, in typical fashion, is like biting her lip and stuff, but she came up here to talk. Now, they don't get to be talking because it's Christian and he hasn't seen her in 3 days, and so obviously his sex drive is just out of control. Now, if you remember from our conversation from last week, listeners, Anna is on her period.
Yep.
Christian does not know this
Nope.
until he starts kissing her, like on her neck and on her throat, and then all of a sudden, out of seemingly nowhere, he just asks her, "Are you bleeding?" Now, if someone asked me this, the chances are yes, because I have probably picked a scab, I've probably ran into a door on my way here.
Yeah.
Chances are at any time, yeah, I probably have a paper cut or somewhere. Thank you, Christian. I would like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's asking her if she's on her period.
Just say period.
Yes.
Christian. If you're saying, are you bleeding, I'm going to be concerned that, like, you see an injury that I did not notice yet.
Yeah. That's just like, do you have blood? Yes.
Are you losing blood? I mean, I didn't think about it, but I guess. I don't know, am I?
I feel vaguely threatened, Christian.
Yeah. What kind of tone of voice is that, Christian? Am I bleeding? Ask me if I'm on my period like a man, Christian. Grow up. Grow up.
He's just like, say it out loud.
Stop! Oh my god. Stop.
I'm just...
Can someone recut that scene? No, someone take that scene from the movie, from the 50 Shades of Grey movie, and just put the dialogue from Twilight.
That's all I've ever wanted.
That's all I want.
So anyways, they're like, instead of theoretically going to have sex immediately, he's like, let's go take a bath. Okay, thanks, Christian. That sounds great. Apparently this bathroom is like 2 rooms, which, like, okay, first of all, you're in, like, the middle of nowhere.
What kind of fucking hotel room is this shit?
Yeah. So they go into this bathroom, and then he's like, oh, lol, JK, I'm going to have sex with you before we get into the bathroom. Now, I want to talk about this next scene really quick.
Yeah.
But I want to give our listeners a heads up, and I don't know how to properly heads up this part, because we talk about a lot of fucked up shit on this, in this book. I would just say we're gonna talk about something that's like more assaulty for Christian than usual. So just like skip ahead probably like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If you need to. Okay. So here's the thing. Until getting to this part, I think I had repressed this memory about this part. Because I think I remember when this book came out that there was obviously a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
But I think I remembered someone talking about this, but I didn't. I literally had like shoved it down into my soul as far as it could go until reading this part. And so when I read it again, I was like, oh no, I thought this was like fake.
Yeah, no, I think I had a very similar reaction.
Because this foreplay actually starts out fairly okay for Christian.
Yeah.
Of like, we're gonna take it slow, and I'm gonna focus on your body, and it's gonna be like sensual, and I'm gonna, like, we've talked about this for so long of like, I'm gonna touch you in places and not just like focus on me for once.
Yeah.
You know, like how you're supposed to care about partners. But then it's the tampon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't, there are not words in the English language available to describe how violating and disgusting this scene is.
Yeah.
And how many eyes this book went through before it reached the public.
Yeah.
And I just want to look E.L. James in the face and be like, I'm sure you have a lot of regrets in your life that are not literary related.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things in these books that you should regret. But why? Yeah. Why did you pull this tampon out? Like, I mean, E.L. James didn't do it, but why did you But like, why did you have Christian do? Why did you think that this was gonna be any part of like a sexual experience for someone?
Right. Like, isn't this hot?
Yeah.
Aren't, like, ladies reading this on the train in secret just gonna get so hot by reading this? You know?
I want a 50-year-old woman on her washing machine right now to fucking lose it over this part. And it's like, no.
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 No. You actually don't get to do that.
No. And I think what bothers me the most from reading this scene personally was the fact that it was written in a way that Anna was supposed to like it.
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to be a, like, shocking, but she liked this. Whereas, like, if someone just, I mean, this is very different, but if someone just, like, came out to me and, like, ripped my IUD out, I'd be like, excuse me? Like,
hi. Just a moment.
Sorry. Who are you? Like, that's not.
If
Sorry.
someone ever tried to, like, take out my diva cup, I'd be like, hold on. What the fuck are you playing here right now? What kind of twisted game? And I feel like it's similar to all the things that Christian has done so far in the way that he's, like, when later he, like, justifies, like, the spanking and stuff, where it's like, it's not really that bad, it's just shocking, and it's, like, your first experience with it, so it feels very, like, whoa, what is happening? But, like, when it's, like, actually not that bad, but, like, actually, it's kind of gross and bad.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, listen, my top love language is not acts of service, but even if it was, that's not what I need help with. No. Take the garbage out. Like, do my laundry for me. I don't need help in this area, ever.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
I'm good.
I'm good. Hey, I'm
okay.
good. I'm good.
I can do it. I'm okay.
So they have sex or whatever, and Anna has this weird conversation where she's like, I'm bleeding. He's like, it doesn't bother me. And she's like, I fucking noticed.
Like,
Christian.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still allowed to comment on it, I guess. It's a little weird for me.
But they decide to actually use the bath now, instead of just, like, looking at it. And all of a sudden it dawns on Anna that the scars that Christian has are not, in fact, from chickenpox. They're a little bit too big for that, apparently, but they look, in fact, like they could be cigarette burn scars. And she decides this is the moment to bring this up.
Clearly. Definitely not something he has trauma over, and something he, like, lied about to, like, maybe not talk about it. Let's open that wound right now.
Yeah. Definitely not wait to see if he ever brings that up himself when he's comfortable. But, you know, get a couple Cosmos in me and it's like, I'm gonna start this trauma for you. And so again, she's like bringing up Mrs. Robinson. And I'm just like, Anna, I swear to God, I know you don't understand how, like, anything works, how, like, relationships are supposed to go, but, like, babe, let it go. Like,
yeah. Just drop it. Just drop it.
Please. Like, let it go. So, anyways, they start to have these conversations, talking a little bit more about Mrs. Robinson, where he's like, she just, listen, she just gave me what I needed at that time. And that's how he tries to, like, justify it. And they have this conversation where they're like, I want you to trust me. And he's like, I don't trust you.
I don't trust anyone.
Exactly. It's gross and stuff. Because, you know, they don't know how to communicate with each other.
No. At least they're trying, ? This time. Like, there's an attempt at talking about their emotions, which is better. They're not really doing a good job at it, but, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, they are, like, face-to-face trying to have words spoken between them for, like, a few minutes, which rarely happens for the two of them.
And they're on such opposite sides of, like, proceeding this issue that they're talking about, that there's no middle ground. Because, like, Anna's very much like, I believe that she assaulted you and is a pedophile and, like, abused you and all these things, and that makes me uncomfortable, and I'm sorry that happened to you, and I don't really like the relationship with her still. And he's like, yeah, but we do business, and it's fine, and, like, sure, I ruined her marriage, and, like, I'm fucked up heavily because of it, and I'm traumatized beyond repair, but we're friends. We can have a drink, we can have lunch, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's no middle ground in that at all.
Yeah. Especially because, and they're just deciding to jump into all of these very heavy topics because they sort of find a compromise on this. But, like, you know, it's them. So, like, they didn't.
Right.
And
compromise in heavy quotes and italics.
Yes, exactly. And then they start talking about their actual relationship. And their arrangement. Because as we have brought up for the past, like, 12 weeks, Anna has not signed this contract. But they finally, like, mention this in person to each other, and they're like, she's like, I don't think I can do this. And he's like, I don't think you can either.
Yeah.
He's like, in the nicest way possible, you're not a great submissive. And she's like, yeah.
Finally, we got there.
Yes, exactly.
Took you this long to figure that out.
Exactly. So they're kind of working on this thing where he's like, I just want to be able to, like, slap your ass in my red room while I'm wearing my sex jeans, but, like, outside of that, I'll sort of listen to what you want. But, like, I'll still, like, track you on your phone and stuff. 'Kay, cool? And she's like,
Okay. I guess.
Exactly. And so it's like, you know, nothing. They end up splashing each other in the bathtub because they're children. And that's about it. Before they go, they have sex again. Shocking, truly. They end up in his bed. And he looks at her and he's like, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to talk. And he's like, about what? And she's like, stuff. And she's like, what? He's like, what stuff? And she's like, you. This
like, are you 12?
Yeah. We literally had to read this. Why?
This was written... It's like she's in middle school. And she's like, I just want to talk about, I don't know, stuff.
Let's play 20 questions, Christian.
What's your favorite movie? What do you like? What are you into?
What are you doing right now? What color underwear are you wearing? It's like, I'm literally right next to you. What the fuck? I'm naked. I don't understand.
Weirdo.
Okay. Anyways. So the chapter ends with them finally falling asleep. So, like, we know we're getting there.
Yeah.
Chapter 24 is interesting.
Yeah.
So Christian wakes up. Well, okay, first of all, Anna has the weirdest dream. Anna always has very weird dreams. But she, like, remembers them. She has a very weird talent with this. But Anna wakes up, and Christian is, like, dressed in all black, standing next to her, which, like, if that happened to me, I swear to God, I would just... I would not be like, I don't want to stay in bed. I'd be like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, I don't know who you are.
I'm gonna kick your ass. I just imagine you ever being woken up by anyone, and you're like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Alright?
That's my entire mood.
Fists up, just like, kick your ass.
Just that whole vine where it's like, Adrian Michael, I'm gonna kick your ass. That's me, but like starting at like age 3.
Yeah.
Yep. That was me. So anyways, he wakes her up at like 5:30, and she's like, she's not a person yet. But he's like fucking bouncing up and down like a toddler. We've never seen Christian this excited before.
Yeah.
They finally get in the car, to go somewhere, which Anna has no idea where. But apparently he says something like, I just want to chase the daylight with you, or something like gross.
What?
Yes. One of my favorite things about this, though, is she's not awake, and she's like, just give me a little bit of time before I eat, because she's like, it's too early for me. And sometimes I think she just says shit to him to surprise him, because she's not awake, and so she's like, well, a spanking would wake me up, and then Christian just like falls to the floor. He just like collapses.
Like, yes, finally.
He's just so happy.
He turns into a puddle on the floor.
Exactly. They get in the car to start driving. She has no idea where, and he's like, you can play whatever music you want on my iPod. First of all, remember iPods. So she chooses what she considers to be the perfect song, which is the club mix, the techno remix of Toxic by Britney Spears.
Yes. Excellent choice.
When I think about 6:30 in the morning, what I need, and I'm not joking about this, is I need some Britney Spears. I need something to get me moving. And that sounds great.
This reminded me, have you ever seen Spring Breakers?
Yes.
So you remember that scene near the end where the girls are just like, just holding guns, robbing people, and Britney Spears is every time is playing softly in the background.
It's the biggest mood.
The greatest scene in cinematic history. And I was like, wow, yeah, all movies can be better with Britney Spears just there.
Yes. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
And then it, like, immediately changes to Damien Rice, which is, like, the biggest move.
It's just an easy pivot to make, you know?
Yes, exactly. They are trying to have small talk on their way there, which includes, Anna making digs at him. She, like, clocks him for wanting to know when her period is. And then they have, like, this weird, like, almost conversation about kids. It's a lot. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, it's too much.
They show up at this place, and Anna finds out that they're going to go gliding, which sounds lit as hell. But she's, like, very thankful that she didn't end up eating, because it's her first time doing this, and so can you imagine doing that on a full stomach? No, thank you.
No thanks. Who the fuck is Christian's glider connect in Atlanta, Georgia? Like, where the fuck?
I don't know.
Who does he know here that he can just hook up?
Maybe he had a Groupon.
You know what? Christian Grey just, like, stumbles through Groupon every morning. It's like, what can I charm my hot GF with?
Things that I think Christian does that he doesn't want to admit. Groupon.
Sure.
Pinterest.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got boards for days.
You know that. Like, that has to be true. Or...
What are the best jeans to have sex?
Or, worse than this, he's an actual, like, hard copy magazine person.
Yeah.
Like, he uses magazines and he, like, cuts them out to, like, make his dream boards.
Yeah, that's a mood.
I feel like he would probably use Pinterest over it, but I do like the idea of him, like, meticulously cutting out images and gluing them on dream boards. Okay.
Yeah.
So they go gliding. It's most of this chapter. There's a part where Anna just is, like, flying in the air, and I just wanted Christian to just, like, fly them into the sun. I just wanted it to be over with. It's just like, let me die.
And then they burned alive, and it was over.
Yeah, I just wanted it to end. It was really bad. So it's great or whatever. They get done, and she wants to have sex with them in the field because it's 50 Shades of Grey. But here's the thing. This is when the chapter gets a little bit better, because they're on their way to go get breakfast. Oh, well, this part's bad, but it does get better. Her alarm goes off, as you do. I also do this to set my alarm to take my medicine. And she's like, oh yeah, it's time for my birth control. And he's like, never been more excited. Like, he just did his thing where he chased the daylight and flew into the sun and survived. And now he's gonna, like, watch his girlfriend take a birth control pill. It's like, all right, shut the fuck up. Anyways, it's gross. Now, here's the part that I really care about. When you imagined these two going to breakfast, Cody, where did you imagine them going to?
Oh, you know, I do like the idea that they did go to IHOP.
I could have put money down that it would have been the bougiest of bougie places.
Sure.
Like, they would have had breakfast on a yacht somewhere. The fucking fact.
Or they got some fancy ass, like, hotel, like, room service or whatever.
Exactly.
You know?
The fact that it's 8:30 in the morning and he wants to go to IHOP. He chose this. And he's excited like a kid going to Disneyland.
He is a kid and he just wants pancakes. You know what I mean? Like,
it is honestly the best quality about Christian Grey that I've read so far.
Sure. And honestly, if you want pancakes, the pancakes are the same no matter how expensive they get. Like, pancakes are pancakes.
I agree with that.
The best ones are going to be that cheap-ass IHOP, like, shove it in my mouth, shove it in my gob, drown me in maple syrup, let's go. And pay, like, $3.
You know what? Fuck a pancake. I don't like them.
Wow. Hot take on this podcast.
Hot cake, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I let me live, first of all.
I'm pulling you off the podcast.
Waffles are so much better.
I mean, yeah, waffles are sick. But pancakes are also really cool.
I mean, if I had to choose between pancakes and death, fine. God. But, like, waffles, they have the little, like, pockets for butter and syrup. Like, please.
They got little pockets. Yeah, they're very functional. I get it.
Okay, am I just bitter because I can't eat IHOP pancakes? Maybe. But, like, it's fine. Anyways.
I think you're projecting a lot of your own issues onto this podcast right now.
That's true. I just want breakfast so bad. Okay, anyways, so Anna briefly contemplated having sex in IHOP, which was a lot for me to handle, and I don't think IHOP got consent for that.
They were both heavily considering it. Like, what if they were just, like, looking down at their menus and they're looking at each other, it's like, can we?
Right here? Right now? Like,
right here? In an IHOP's bathroom? Could we?
Now, if you would have told me that the 50 Shades of Grey version of Bella Italiana was IHOP, I would have laughed in your fucking face.
Yeah.
But it's very good. And I love it a lot. So they do that. He drops her off at her mom's place without asking for the address because he's a creep and he's terrifying. They decide on dinner for all of them. I think they did that the day before. They decide on emailing each other. Lots of good email titles this time, even though they are still changing.
Yeah.
Yes. So, they are. We find out that in a shocking turn of events, Anna talks while she sleeps, as usual. We already knew this, but it's fine. Her mom has prepped this, like, whole dinner, and Christian is supposed to come, but he ends up not for weird reasons. He's got business. But in the good news, Anna has a job. So that's great.
Woo!
Yes, good things. They send these emails to each other that are like weird because he like doesn't
Very formal.
super formal. So they decide, I don't know, they're like talking and he like won't tell her what she was talking about in her sleep and all this stuff, and he like won't tell her what the situation is and all these things. One of the titles of her emails is literally just grr, like she's just growling at him. Anyways, so the last part of this chapter is him being like, I'd rather hear you say the words that you uttered in your sleep when you're conscious. That's why I won't tell you. It's like, okay, Christian.
So weird. What?
Yeah. But that is where chapter 24 ends. So that next week we have the last 2 chapters of this book, thank God.
Fuck yeah.
Finally.
Yes.
We're almost done.
Bust a nut at the end of this book.
Okay.
What?
All right.
What? You said peen earlier. I can say whatever I want.
That's true. That's true. All right. You get one.
Okay, nice.
So I want to take a second and have us thank our patrons. When you all are listening to this, it's August. It's a new month. That means new perks.
Come through.
We are in the process of adding an additional perk to your existing pledges, so stay out on the lookout for that. But I want to shout out Shannon Clearwater, who's one of our $10 patrons, who is the fragrant bubbles that Anna and Christian were sitting in their bath.
Ooh. Ew. Shout out to Katie Weber, also a $10 sponsor, who is the poor bartender that had to listen to Christian and Anna do couples therapy.
Oh my God.
At the hotel bar.
Who did not get tipped enough, you know what I mean?
No. I hope Carla did, because she was like, I got that. It's on the tab. Let me just slide one over.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So, in exciting news, we have a return of our intern, Taylor Browntown.
She has risen.
She's back.
From the like a phoenix from the ashes.
To send fan fiction.
Yeah,
and
as she was destined to do.
Yes.
Why God put her on this earth.
You don't get breaks.
No.
You don't.
Hey, let me make this fucking clear, Taylor.
You're on our time. You're not on our dime, but you're on our time.
No, not even a little bit.
Okay. So this fanfiction was written by the person named Rapunzel Clare.
Nice.
And none of it's spelled the way that you would expect. I'm going to leave it like that.
I love it.
It's titled Mr. Gray's Sick Days, and it was published on May 17th of this year. The author's note includes, but is not limited to, also, thank you to the Playroom of the 50 Shades of Grey Sisterhood for setting up the challenges. So, I just want to leave you with that. I want you to think about it, and I want you to return with comments and questions for next week about what the 50 Shades of Grey Sisterhood is, and what the fuck any of these challenges could be. So, that's just where I'm at. So, the excerpt of this fanfiction goes a little something like this. Unfortunately, on Tuesday I felt like I'd been hit by Elliot's work truck, but still tried to get some things done at the office. By lunch, I had to call it a day and just came to Escala. Grace came by and diagnosed me with the flu, so I've been quarantined here ever since. It is only Wednesday, and I feel somewhat better. I still fell asleep after lunch, and I have just been rudely awoken by the loud noises from the kitchen. It is probably my idiot brother, beating and banging on purpose just to piss me off even more. I make my way to the restroom, still a little lightheaded and weak from my illness. Just as I'm walking back to my bed, I hear a knock on the door. Enter. I manage to get out to whoever is behind the door as I crawl back into bed.
I never in a million years would have guessed who was here to take care of me. I can't believe Anna has done this. She had to have known better. When I'm able to talk, she will be hearing it from me and likely get a punishment in the playroom. God. What the fuck, Rodriguez? Although it comes out of my mouth as a squeak and a whisper. End scene.
Wow.
So Jose is there to take care of Christian.
You know, that's fitting.
I think it is fitting, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted it to get more homoerotic than it did.
Sure.
I'll just leave it at that.
Honestly, that's how I feel about most movies and most things. So.
Okay, next week we're talking about this, but I went to go see Mission Impossible and it wasn't as gay as I thought it was going to be.
Boo.
Agreed.
What's the point?
Big mood. Fall out of what, you know what I mean?
That's what we say in Seattle. What the fuck? Get whipped.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Kraus, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.